Hello guys! Today we're going to make another episode, but this time it's about Timuijia, the basics of the Timuijia. Well, as you can see in the map, this is a religious map of Timuijia. Why is there this area over here that's completely atheistic? Why is this area over here completely atheistic? Well, you'll see. You'll see. Oh, for sure. Well, let's already start. Let's go. Well, here it's showing that Timuijia is a nation in Eastern Europe with the capital name Bagracionovsk or Bagracionovsk in Sildiwin. It's parliamentary monarchy with the diet being in the monarchy's capital in Kaliningrad. The monarchy's capital, Kaliningrad. Actually, the monarchy's capital, Kaliningrad, is there's only one part of the diet, which is the electoral diet. But the electoral diet is where you make stuff about the about how can I explain elections, parliament elections, and they happen in this part of the diet. But the diet is also in Bagracionovsk. Well, let's continue. And in Kaliningrad, the king Alexei the Sixth lives in Pogranichnoe Palace and has 4 sons. His wife Zofia of Poland is 22, and Alexei the Sixth is 24. Timuijia has over 61 million people, mostly being aged 25 to 35. So you can notice that the population is pretty young, as you can notice with the king and the queen, but they're only in power right now because his father, Alexei's father, is dead. He died in 2015, and since 2015, Alexei is in power. Well, let's continue with the history. Timuijia had many historical moments, like the siege of St. Petersburg. Well, the siege of St. Petersburg was during the French Napoleonic Wars. And in 1808, still if Russia was an ally of France, and Timuijia too, Timuijia invaded Russia because, like, treaty stuff and possible violation of the treaty, possible railroad accidents. Well, then they tried to siege St. Petersburg. It kind of happened, so Russia had to surrender. But they did not surrender completely. They just gave some areas, and then Timuijia lost it all when the king was killed in the second invasion in 1812. Then let's continue. Timuijia was created in 723, called the Respublika Sildewiei, that came from the Gauls by year 0. By year 0, the Timuidians left the Gallia area and reached Timuijia. Then they were conquered by the Teutonic Order in 1280. They gained independence in 1632 from Prussia and got Warsaw in 1795 because of the partitions of Poland. The kingdom of Timuijia became an empire. Sorry for that mistake over there. In 1806, they had colonies in the Golden Coast and Borneo in the 1800s. They lost these territories in World War I and was puppeted in World War II. It became a People's Republic in 1945 and became independent, sorry for that error too, in 1989. Then Timuijia united with Poland in 1996 and exists until today. Well, let's explain it a little bit more, because there was actually a revolution between 1711. It started in 1711 because of Alexander I, which was a tyrant. He didn't let people eat a lot, and because of the cold, they completely ignored everything. So then the people rebelled, and with this rebellion, the king of Prussia invaded Gdansk, So Alexander had to do something, and he did. Then Timuijia had another rebellion because his counselor said to revoke all of the minor rights that he gave. Why? Well, this is a new counselor. The old counselor was assassinated by the own king, Alexander I. So there was another revolution, or another rebellion. They took Gdansk again, and I think this is when he left to a small city and was killed by the loyalist general that hit him 1 year later. Today, Timuijia has one capital, Bagration, and an emergency capital, Warsaw, or Warsaw. It is the leader of the CEO, Central European Organization, which is technically NATO, which has Germany, Timuijia, Czechia, Slovakia, Slovenia, Austria, Switzerland, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Liechtenstein, Croatia, Lithuania, Estonia, and Latvia. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, Croatia, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Liechtenstein, and Switzerland had just joined. It had joined recently, forming it's an economic alliance with the objective of uniting the economies of the nations, forming a united Central Europe in the end. It has declared itself neutral since the unification of Poland and Timuijia in 1996. There's nothing to explain over here, so we can go to the next page, which is a very poorly made mapping of Timuijia's evolution. Before it was named Timuijia because the first leader was drunk and said, Hosiest Timuijia. So, trying to say Saldiwia, which was the old name of the tribal confederation, the Regnum Saldiviae. Economy. Most exports of Timuijia are technology and AI exports, 32% of the exports, mostly autonomous drones and AI robotics, and it's the world's second largest exporter, behind South Korea. There is also a lot of heavy industry and manufacturing, 29% of the economy of the exports, mostly cars and high-speed trains, competing with Germany. Green energy is 50%, mostly nuclear fusion components, sorry for the E there, and hydrogen energy systems, which is the #1 exporter in the world. The agriculture is 9%, mostly genetically engineered wheat and high-quality dairy, dominating Europe. There's also financial services, 11%, mostly currency systems and fintech software, which is the third largest exporter in Europe. The biggest trade partners are Poland. Why Poland? Because it still has a bit of independence. It still has a bit of power and is even recognized in the UN by a few nations. Where was I? The biggest trade partners are Poland, Germany, South Korea, France, Sweden, and Japan. Most are due to the CAO, and they do most of the exportations. Timuijia has world-class high-speed rail systems and advanced highways designed for efficiency and speed. Their smart city initiatives in urban areas like Bagration. Some people also call it Brasyonovosk, have revolutionized the way citizens interact with public services and infrastructure. Beyond green energy, Timuijia focuses heavily on nuclear power, including fusion reactors that supply a significant part of the nation's electricity. There's also nothing to explain over here. And let's continue with education. Timuijia places great emphasis on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, also called STEM education. Universities like Brasyonovosk University are known for AI research, quantum computing, and fusion energy studies. The government has made massive investments in creating innovation clusters, particularly in the fields of cybersecurity, space exploration, and robotics. The nation has a small nuclear arsenal of 10 nukes because of the Cold War and stuff, and has tried 2 times to go to the moon, but only reached an area similar to the ISS before something hitting the satellite. About the nuclear arsenal, it was during the 1960s when Russia told Poland and Timuijia to make nukes. Timuijia made 7, and Poland made 3 before the unification, and they tried to make one more before the international law of something. Healthcare. Timuijia is on the cutting edge of genetic research and biomedical technology. The country is known for developing gene therapies and advanced prosthetics. The country provides high-quality universal healthcare (USA), which plays a major role in population, health, and productivity, making the population grow older, which can be a problem in the future. Why? Population grows older. There's not a lot of births today, so the graph will be almost no people being born and a lot of old people, which that means that the population will decrease a lot by the future. Timuijia has a robust film industry, especially when it comes to historical documentaries and recreations because of the patriotic thing. The VR historical experiences based on the 1632 War of Independence are a global hit. Timuijia has a rich history of literature, music, and art, with many cultural programs gaining international recognition. Artists like Vilguk Dradinov and Logro Dadrinov, the Dadrinov brothers, have many arts of many people of the royal family, and they really were patriots, generally painting about the revolution and the empress, considered the prettiest monarchist by many. Now, this is a lot. Many of Timuijia's older cities, like Bagrationovsk, feature buildings that reflect the Teutonic Order's influence and Renaissance period, like the Museum of Independence, which is placed in a historic castle showing military architecture from the Prussian and Saxon periods. Timuijia boasts beautiful Baroque-style churches, many of which are still in use, like the Church of Enity, which also holds royal family tombs. As a parliamentary monarchy, Timuijia also has a number of neoclassical buildings, housing government institutions with intricate facades and grand columns. Bratislava, the capital, is famous for its sleek, high-tech skyscrapers that feature solar panels, wind turbines, and smart glass. These buildings are designed to be energy efficient, symbolizing Timuijia's status as a technologically advanced nation. As part of its environmental policies, Timuijia has incorporated sustainability in its agricultural designs. Eco-friendly materials, green roofs, and rainwater harvesting systems are common features in the new constructions. In the countryside, traditional wooden homes with thatched roofs are still constructed, reflecting the ethnic heritage of the Padrok people and other historical influences. These buildings are designed to blend with the natural landscape. About the Padroks. The Padrok people are a minority, an ethnic minority in Timuijia that stays in the areas of bordering Czechia, next to another ethnicity that I forgot the name to. Well, I'm sorry, this was made by AI. I don't know how to paint, okay? Just saying already. These are the photos of the kings in the past, and I will explain whatever they did. Alexei VI Stadovich, which is part of the dynasty of the Stadovich that started in 1989, is the leader today. And no, it's not because it's just like me that I put it. I just put the name and they all had some similar hairstyle. Well, Alexei, born in 2001, is married to Queen Zofia of Poland. You'll notice that that Poland is going to be most of the queens today of of all of history. Alexei has had a father, of course. Probably, it's possible you didn't. I'm really sorry. Mikhail III Staranovich. He was born in 1956, and he reigned from 1989 to his death in 2015. Everyone reigns until his death. His death, of course. Mikhail III was married to Queen Amelia of Poland, who was born in 1963, 6 years, 7 years, I think, 7 years after Mikhail III. And his father, Boris, as you can notice, the Chaldean language is pretty strange, with the H sounding like H, and the I with the 2 points, with the 2 dots, is E, which puts the emphasis. So it's not Boris, it's Boris, the second Padernovsky. And this is the Padernovsky dynasty. He was born in 1811 and reigned from 1830 to 1910. You can say that Staranovich was born in 1956. It was because, I'm sorry for saying that Boris was his father before, but Boris is not the father. So what happened in between this time, in between 1910 and 1989, and 1989? Well, it was a communist republic because of the revolution, a small revolution. So, and there was also Queen Amelia of Poland, that I already said, talked about her before. Boris was married to Queen Lyudmila of Timuijia. The U with the umlaut can be U, O, or U. If the umlaut, the vowel with the umlaut is in between 2 consonants, it's U. And if not, it's U. Well, Boris II, Boris II's father, Boris I Padernovsky, was born in 1795, and he reigned from 1812 to 1830. You can notice that Padernovsky was born 1 year before Boris's reign, because it's true. He had the son before he went to power. Well, Lyudmila of Timuijia was actually part of the Timuijian, how to explain it, the Timuijian nobility, and she was chosen because of her. She was chosen by Boris. Boris the first Padernovsky was married to Queen Isabel of Savoy, and both were born in 1795, and they were also born in the same week. And it was more, they thought it was like some divine meaning, but it was not just coincidence. But they still married. Queen Isabel of Savoy made a great alliance, and they all had, and this was a period of enlightenment. They had a bit of enlightenment ideas. Mikhail the First Padernovsky was born in 1753 and reigned from 1795 to 1813. I'll show you what's strange. Mikhail the second, actually, Padernovsky, had also Otto the First Padernovsky. That's super strange, huh? Well, it's not a coincidence. Both were leaders for some time because he made a bit of a rebellion. He was against his father's ideas. So he decided to rebel, and Otto the First Padernovsky then let Mikhail II Paderewski to be together with Otto. But then Mikhail took away Paderewski from power in 1805, and 2 years later he died. He was married to Empress Barbara of Prussia, which was the one that I said that was considered one of the prettiest empresses, or one of the prettiest monarchists at today by many. Otto I Paderewski was married to Queen Victoria of Poland, and she was born in 1737, and Otto was born in 1730. Alexander I Gravisan was the one that I said about Alexander's revolution, the revolution against Alexander. He was very Catholic. He always used this, and he always has this angry look in his eye. Well, let's continue. There was the revolution before, as you can notice, there was a revolution before the emperor stuff, and it's true. There was this is a painting of the revolution. Let's just pretend it's a painting, sorry. And this, in this case, would be painted by Dadrinov, Paderewski. Well, before the revolution, Alexander I Gravisan was leader from 1711 to 1774 and was born in 1699. Aw, he looks so happy. Wait. He looks so happy. Well, Queen Isabella of France. Well, it's pretty strange that there was a revolution with the Queen being French. And Isabella of France was born in 1704. They married in 1712 because of him, of course. And his father, Mikhail I Gravisan, was born in 1763. In 1692, he had him. But it's pretty strange. You know why? This was a bit of an affair in between Gravisan and someone else. Not Alina, but someone else. Because his hair is pretty black. Mikhail I Gravisan was born in 1673 and was married to Queen Alina of Saldivia, and was born in 1704. She was literally descendant of the first queen of Saldivia, or Regnum Saldiviae. And Queen Alina was the one that helped a lot with the stability of the nation, together with Gravisan, with Mikhail I. Alexei II Gravisan was Mikhail I's father, and he was a very good. They were both Catholics, and this really influenced the nation very much. And they had great relations with Pope. Alexei II Gravisan was the leader before Mikhail, and was married to Queen Amelia of Brandenburg in 1650. She was born. He's 20 years her senior, which is 1 year her senior. I was going to say 20 years her senior, but it's not even her senior, because 1670, after 1650, that means that he's younger. Sorry, I got pretty crazy over there. Okay, anyways. His father, Vladimir the First Gravisan, was also a very, very Catholic, as you can see. And his father was actually the first leader of Timuijia, or Hosius Timuijia. He was the one that was drunk in a party and said Hosius Timuijia. And Vladimir was married to Queen Sophie of Brandenburg too, born in 1620, and he was born in 1617. He reigned from 1646 to 1670 and was a little bit before Alexei the First. Alexei the First Gravisan was born in 1600 and helped with the independence of Timuijia, or it was called Saldiwia for like 15 days before he was drunk. He got drunk and said Timuijia, and then became Timuijia. But then it became Timuijia because of Vladimir the First Gravisan. Well, now how he was the leader of. He was the first leader, the last leader here, Radoklav, the third Vlastenik, was actually, how to explain? It was actually the last leader before the destruction of Saldivia. Vladimir the First Gravisan was married to Anastasia Romanov of Russia. Not Anastasia Romanov that we know about the case that she possibly could have survived, but it was actually a crazy woman that said that she was Anastasia or Pixie. But let's continue. Queen Antoinette of France was married to Radoslav III Vlastenik, and he was the one that wanted to regain the same culture as the old Saldiwid that had the physical test and stuff like that. But Queen Antoinette was not from Saldivia, but was from France because he wanted to make an alliance with France. So he married with Queen Antoinette. Vasilis Radoslav III was son of Vasilis V Vlastenik, born in 1226 and reigned from 1246 to 1265. And Radoslav III Vlastenik was actually the leader of the Duchy of Saldivia, which was a puppet state of the Teutonic Order. Vasilis was married to Queen Katarina Sobieska of Poland in and they married in 1247, and actually 1245, as they were still prince and princess. Katarina Sobieska helped Vasilis to stabilize the nation before Vladislav the Fourth Vlastenik. Oh yeah, and about Sobieska, she was not a Vlastenik. Normally, the people change the name. The wife changes the name to the name of the last. The woman changes the last name to the last name of the king, but she didn't let it, or else she would divorce him and stuff. They tried actually to divorce. Vladislav IV Vlastenik was married to Queen Milena of Saldivia, and she was born in 1203, so he's 3 years her senior. They married in 1219, and Vlastenik became king until 1265. Milena died 2 years earlier. Dmitry II Vlastenik was the leader before him, and he was born in 1184 and reigned from 1198 to 1221. Dmitry II Vlastenik was married to Queen Anne of Poland. Anne, not Anne, Anne of Poland, born in 1190. They married 2 years after he became king. Why? Because Queen Anne was absent for a while because she was possibly kidnapped by a rebel. And Yaroslav III Vlastenik was Dimitri's father. When Yaroslav was the leader, Yaroslav III was the leader, and he was married to Queen Adelheid von Saxony, or Adelheid of Saxony, and she was born in 1122. Sorry, there was a bit of a sound over there. Vladimir I Vlastenik was his father and born in 1088 and reigned from 1110 to 1138. And then his father, the father died, and then Yaroslav became leader. As you can notice, the start of words is Yaro, Ya, not E. If it wasn't the end of the word, it was E. Vladimir I Vlastenik was married to Queen Yelena of the Rus, and he was born in 1098, and she was born in 1092, which is a 4-year gap actually. That's a little bit, but that's not compared to a few other kings that were 30 years the senior. But let's continue. Queen Yelena of the Rus had a father that really hated Vladimir and Radoslav, but Vladimir proved him wrong because her father said that he was incompetent and was going to do nothing except destroy the nation. And he completely destroyed the nation and turned it to an urban center. Radoslav II Vlastenik was a bit of a tyrant, but it was for a necessary cause. He was married to Queen Katarina of Austria, or Katharina, if you're English. His father, Alexei I Vlastenik, had the choice in between Radoslav, Emir, and also another brother, I think, Kanon. But he chose Radoslav because the other two were fighting a lot for supremacy. Alexei I was married to Queen Elisabetta of Bohemia, and she was born in 1052. 52 years. 52 years. He was 52 years older than her. Goodness. The king of Bohemia gave Elisabetta to Alexei when she was like 12. That's horrible. And his father Boris was at least a bit better, and he was the last one to have the last leader to have the physical test. Boris the first Vlastenik was married to Queen Serafina of Visalia. As you can notice, she's a little bit like Venus, because there were physical tests for women too. The physical tests for women were to have a waist just like Venus, everything just like Venus. And sometimes Queen Serafina would use a flower crown over here, or she would use an olive crown, I think. They were born in 977 and 979, and his father Mikhail I Vlastenik was a bit of a conservative, and stopped at this because he had a little bit of a scar over here. Mikhail I Vlastenik was married to Queen Valeria of Lithia, born in 979, and he was born in 954. What? 20 years I thought this was going to be, oh my goodness. Well, he was the second leader, no, the what? Yeah, the second king of Timuijia. And he was in battle when someone put a, like, slashed him here. He survived, and he was able to cure most of it, but he had to have this mark over here. Radoklav was his father and the first king. He was chosen by the people because he he passed by a lot in the physical tests, and Calista of Fanth, or uh, Fanthedia, I think. I can't see because my big head is hiding the rest of Fanth. Well, she was born in 1920 and 920. They were both born on the same day, the same year actually, and they married in 950. Well, she reigned until 975, but Radoklav reigned 2 days later, and then he had the king. Okay, now we have to show this, which is the map, a very poorly made map of Bagratiónovsk, or Brasilovsk, or yeah. Uh, this area here are the industries. I'll explain about the river later. These are the warehouses. This is the housing, and this is the housing of the richest families that are CEOs of the enterprises that are here. There's farmland over here, divided by these lines. The Libri Diem celebrations occur in these areas, and this area is like where everyone eat in Libri Diem. Libri Diem is the name of Independence Day. Coronation, and the coronation house is over here, where the king is coronated, and that the last time it was opened was in 2015. The parks of gratitude are these ones that each mean solitude, gratitude, and I think power. And these parks have statues of the three first leaders, the king, queen, and their son or daughter. This is the old city over here, the old city of Bagratiónovsk. It expanded a lot over here. The Supreme Court is next to the Diet. These are the 18 ministries, which I can't remember. This is Bagratiónovsk University. This is Bagratiónovsk University, and this is the Road of Knowledge, or Knowledge Road. These are the churches, and these are the religious schools. These are the museums, and oh yeah, this area used to be a military base, and it still is before Libri Diem, or 5 days before Libri Diem. This is the urban area, the urban region, which most of these buildings are from CEOs, are for like enterprises. Then here is the commercial area. This is the Diet of Antlers, which is the name because Timuijia's flag has the deer, because since the pagan times, they believed that deers were like they were descendants of gods. This is the Knowledge Road, and this is the National Museum. Now this is the map of Timuijia. There are a few cities like um, the like Bagratiónovsk, and here it's where the king is. Alexei VI lives actually. This is Kaliningrad, another main city. There's Gdansk, there's Warsaw, there's Lviv, or Lvov. Then there's also, let me remember another city. I don't remember any other cities anymore. I think Blonsk, or Punsk. Where? Oh, when? Where? Yeah. Well, this is the map of Timuijia, all of Poland, Kaliningrad. As you can notice, this was gained after World War II. This was gained after World War II. This was gained after World War II. No, this was gained. All of this was gained in the unification of Poland and Timuijia in 1996. And this was post World War II, and this was actually pre World War II. Actually, even World War I. Well, I hope you enjoyed, and